Congress, pursuing justice through participatory democracy. Listen to KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for an exclusive forum featuring the candidates for LA County District Attorney. Join KBLA's Tavis Smiley as he helps navigate what promises to be a forum full of fire when the candidates trying to unseat current LADA George Gascon come together on stage on the campus of the Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science. Again, it's the LA County District Attorney Forum, live, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580, Saturday morning, January 13th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Helping to raise your civic IQ. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Feelings like mine, baby. Feels like I'm still just a homie. Acting like you don't want me. Yeah. No, shawty, you just don't do it for me. You do it for me. Yeah. Say you done doing it for me, then say
Welcome back into hour 2 of RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Andy, I don't know that clip. Is that the internet? No?
Who right there?
Who?
That ain't Jackie's?
Oh, that's Jackie's?
Is that
No,
Jackie's?
it's not. Okay.
That sounds like Jackie's.
I was like, I'm not sure. It's Jackie's.
Whatever his name is.
I don't know. Listen, I'm jacking it up.
Bryson Tiller.
What's that really?
They're all the same.
Yep.
Bryson Tiller is not the same as Jacquees. Don't do that.
Come on.
Don't do that.
You didn't hear
Don't. Bryson Tiller had a moment with don't. We was all walking around going, don't.
But they all had a moment, didn't they?
What was Jacquees' moment?
I don't know, but we know who he is, so he had a moment.
If we can't name his song, then that doesn't mean he had a moment.
Oh, really?
Oh,
okay. I'm not trying to make him have a moment. I'm not trying to make him a thing or anything like that. But
you sure?
I'm positive. Totally positive.
So listen, hour 2.
Hour 2. Hi.
So Cedric the Entertainer responded to Kat's commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what he said. And he responded on the Shade Room in their comments, He said, revisionist history. Regardless of whatever Kat's opinion, my career can't be reduced to one joke. To one joke that Cat Williams claims as his. I've been in over 40 movies. My specials and brand speaks volumes. The people... It's a little bad grammar. It's okay.
Oh, he was rushing when he typed it.
Maybe a little angry.
Speeding when I wrote this.
Cedric.
Forgive me
the
if it goes
people
astray.
I have put on, including Cat in the Hat at the Gibson Amphitheater. Cat in the Hat was Cat Williams' original comedy name, but he was sued because, by whoever owns Dr. Seuss.
Right.
He said they sued him for $25,000, and he didn't have any money at that time period. No, 100,000, excuse me. And then Cedric followed it up with, and all that tough talk is corny. I'm a grown man, dog, and none of that is going to go like you think. You do you, and I got this over here. So, I don't know.
Who cares?
What do you mean, who cares?
I mean, I didn't like the response, but go ahead.
What should he have said?
Nothing.
Nothing? He should have just ignored it?
It's like, if you think somebody, because for me, he tried to throw a little salt and take a little couple shots at, Cat Williams. if you think somebody is beneath you, or you're giving that impression like, oh, I don't really care because, you know, my work does this and I've done this and whoop de bam. If you feel that way, just like I'm not responding to anybody who I think is beneath me or not anywhere on an equivocal career level as me. You're not my peer.
I mean,
So
I
I'm not
don't
even gonna.
do you think he was saying that he wasn't?
The tone said that to me. That's what I got from the tone. It's like, oh, this is Cat Williams. No one's thinking about him. I've done this and I've done this. My career speaks for itself. Blasey, blasey. Girl, please.
Okay.
Really? Just if I think that I'm not even justifying it, because it's like, you're Cat Williams.
It's nonsense.
This is noise. I'm a king of comedy. I don't have to come off my throne to talk to you.
I do, peasant.
Yeah, very
Right,
much that.
I
You know what I'm
get that,
saying?
yeah.
Like, come on. But you only really respond, or dignify response when you feel like you've been attacked, or you want to defend yourself. There's something there. Like,
What if you're just petty?
trust me, there's other, like, I'm petty too, and if I really want to get somebody back, it's not in the Instagram response in the shade room comment.
Fair enough.
Even if everybody's gonna see it, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Fair enough.
I'm gonna get on my own platform and do something different or whatever. Like, stop.
Are you going to take time on your own platform to bring this person into it later on?
He took time on the platform to take shots at me, so why not? If I'm gonna respond.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, listen, do you know who Megan the reporter is?
Is that girl who just came out of nowhere?
Megan Cunniff, she's a legal reporter. A legal reporter. She covered the Megan Thee Stallion Tory Lanez trial, right? And when Tory Lanez was being sentenced, he called her a googly-eyed B-word, right? Well, Megan has blown up since then, and she's got her own merch. And she turned googly-eyed B-word into a graphic, and she is now selling it. And let me tell you, the graphic is hilarious, and I'm not mad at you, girl. Go ahead and get coin. She put it up for pre-order.
That's how you respond to shade right there. That's it right there. You make a T-shirt out of it, because I've made so many T-shirts out of things that people have told me and made a bag. That's how you do it.
So rock on with your bad self.
I love
you
it.
Check it out on Instagram.
I wanna go.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I'll show you. I have the graphic up right here.
Oh
I'll
my
show
God,
you.
that is so funny.
When we come forward, we're going to get into Amber Rose. She said she's not being quiet anymore, and she wants to really show the world who she is and finally be her authentic self. And my question is, Amber, I thought you were. Isn't that what Slut Walk was all about? We'll get into all of that on more on the other side. You were locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580.
RSVP with Jill Munroe is your go-to show for staying in the know. More engaging conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Hey LA, save water and put money in your pocket with rebates from LADWP. Start saving with free shower heads and faucet aerators. Then save with every flush when you upgrade to a water-efficient toilet and get a $250 rebate. You can also save on every load of laundry with a high-efficiency clothes washer and get a $500 rebate. That's right, LADWP customers can get $500 rebates on qualifying clothes washers. See all the ways to save at ladwp.com/save.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Keeping you informed, entertained, and always ahead of the curve. This is RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. So, looks like Amber Rose is doing a rebrand currently. She recently appeared on Tamron Hall. She has a new reality show that's coming out. She also was spotted recently in New York holding hands with Chris Rock. So, we're in a different phase of life right now. And so in this interview, Amber shared how she is ready to show a different side to her because she's 40 now.
At this point where you are, it's important for people to see you. I mean, I watched the video, you cooking, feeding the dog, laughing in the car.
Yeah.
It is like you want to pull us in to see this person. But at the same time, you're still working through what appears to be a lot of pain. And is this new show a form of protecting yourself?
I think this is more so like I'm tired. I'm tired of not speaking up. I have not spoken up about anything that I've ever been through in my life, my story, what people have done to me. I just always, I grew up in South Philly. I grew up in the hood. I grew up they breed us in South Philly to never snitch, never tell, never say anything. And I'm tired. I'm 40 years old. I'm a mother, hands-on mother. I have 2 children. I'm just ready for people to just get to know Amber. I'm tired of being so politically correct and, saying the right thing. I need to just be me. Whatever that is, that's what I'm going to be.
So, beautiful message, of course, but I really do, to me, I can't say what she's, saying she's not speaking out about or being quiet and not snitching. That could be referring to any number of things. But I thought her whole brand was about being outspoken. I thought the slut walk was about embracing your inner self, no matter what it was. At least that was what she said in those things. So it's kind of weird for me to hear her say, oh, well, I've never really told my story or spoken out. What was all of that when you had these foundations and girls were listening to you and, embracing your messaging then?
Who is she again?
Trent.
I mean, other than what, and I'm not trying to be funny here, and like in all honesty, but other than Kanye's ex-girlfriend. And who does she date? Wiz Khalifa?
Yes.
Other than exes of rappers.
I just told you she created the Slut Walk, which was about women's empowerment. She's an author. She had a talk show at one point in time. She's been on College Hill.
So
Model.
Okay.
She's a personality like anyone else.
Yeah, she had a moment in time that is over. And here we are. I'm confused.
What are you confused about?
Why are we talking? Why?
Why not?
At all
because
of it?
she's a. Why are we talking about any of it, Trent?
No, but like, I don't want to discredit this lady or anything, but like, like, to me, she's along the lines of like a Paris Hilton. She's like a socialite, right? In my mind, who just like partied and hung out and, you know, caused attention.
So let me ask you a question.
With her short haircut.
Not think that, because here's the thing: if people are, for whatever reason, like following your movement, right, or looking at you for your style or for your thing,
okay,
then you have relevance, right?
Well, I didn't say she wasn't relevant. I'm just like, what is? I just don't get the whole rebrand. What are you rebranding from? Because to me, you're just doing the same thing in just a modified format. We were following your life when you were dating Kanye, and we saw you on TV at that point.
Then she didn't talk, and I think then we didn't know her. But that's almost been 20 years at that point.
But now you're 40. Okay, you're old with a baby, and
40's not old.
I'm 41. Okay, so what I'm saying is you're older with a baby. Okay.
2. I'm joking. You don't see the transition.
I'm confused as to.
It's just word salad.
It's why are we here? And I'm not trying to say that you're not relatable, because you are a mother with children. That's your anytime you're relatable. Okay, I get, but.
Do you think at this point in this era,
I'm genuinely
especially
confused.
for Instagram models, do you think we force the idea of creating a brand?
Yeah.
And relevance?
Yeah. Yes. Because what is all this?
To sell a product, ultimately.
But this is what I'm saying. What is it? What is the product?
I mean, for her, I guess she has a reality show coming. I'm sure she'll be coming with some type of.
We have enough of those. Join the cast of whoever.
I mean, she was just on College Hill.
I don't understand the appeal, and I'm sorry.
You don't understand the appeal of Amber Rose or
any of it.
Any of
you like what you're. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too harsh. I just don't get why we are having a discussion about someone who is growing up, essentially.
I mean, because she's a public figure. Aren't all of them growing up and going through their paces and changing their moments and their thoughts and their feelings?
Yeah, but you don't have to tell everybody.
Perhaps, but isn't that how people learn and grow and share their lessons? And the changes,
Sure, I just don't understand why what's the difference between her and any other starlet? That is, I mean, I don't understand. I'm genuinely, we can.
All right, well.
Yeah, what network is this on again? Is it WeTV?
I'm not sure.
Is it Zeus?
The interview was on Tamron Hall.
Okay,
I don't know where her show is coming.
But yeah, like.
The why is because she's like, come on now, you're being obtuse now. Just say you are not interested in her and move along from that.
I want to be.
You saying that you don't know why is
I would like to be, but I need to know why, because I don't understand.
I mean, like anybody, because she's gone through her paces as a
sure.
Like you said, she's grown up, so maybe that resonates with someone.
Maybe if
made
she
different choices with children, like she said, she's been silenced by someone.
That right
so
there.
Perhaps
tell us, like, lead with that. Like, what is the silencing? Like, give us some bait other than.
So she should lead with that, or Tamron should have asked that.
She should have led with that.
Why?
Because
that wasn't the question that she was asked.
But if you are making just a statement like, oh, well, I was, well, how were you silenced, girl? Let's tell us why, how.
I agree with that.
Like, we need to know. Like, give us something other than all I heard was, I'm a mother, I'm not a hoochie no more, and I want to tell everybody about, the change. Why? Hi. Okay. Why were you silenced? Who silenced you?
Maybe that's why she wants us to watch the show. Maybe she's gonna share it there.
She should tell us more to make us want to watch, because that didn't make me want to do anything but change the channel.
Okay. So
even the chat thinks so.
They do not. Why are you putting words in their fingertips?
You know why? Because they'll come back and correct me if I'm wrong. That's why.
Pretty Brown Mimi said, well, everybody's just saying hello.
Hi.
So
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year.
They're just tapping in.
Yeah, but no one is concerned about Amber Rose.
Okay.
Not in this age bracket.
Well, listen, Shaka Khan, she has responded. She announced that she was planning to stop touring and slow down, right? But then, like divas do, she kind of changed her mind. And she said, I might do
the
that.
Chat talks, I love it.
She said, I might do that 3 or 4 times like these other B words do.
But she can, though, because she's old and she's Shaka Khan.
Stop calling people old.
Well, she's 70.
I know.
She's older. She's seasoned.
Okay.
Say
that.
At a certain point in your career, when you've done everything and you're a legend, you can literally do whatever you want to. And I enjoy Shaka Khan because she keeps it real. Okay. She gets on TV and says whatever she feels like, and I love it.
Forensic Accountant agrees with you. He says you're not lying.
Shout out to Forensic Accountant. How's that wood chopping going?
And Crystal says, I agree with Trent.
Thank you.
What's the point?
She's a mother with 2 kids, too. Crystal, she understands. But what's the appeal? Crystal's 40 with 2 kids.
Has she been a video vixen and dated 2 prolific rappers?
She has. And she ain't telling nobody about it either.
Well, then that's her bag, because she ain't getting to the bag and benefiting from her life.
She is.
And that is.
But it's not for consumption, though, for sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, no one cares.
Moving on. Shout out to Crystal then. So Paula Abdul.
I love Paula Abdul.
She is suing the former producer, of American Idol and So You Think You Can Dance, Nigel Lithgow.
He did her dirty.
Alleging that he sexually assaulted her multiple times while she was hosting the shows. California's version, I'm not exactly sure of the exact title of it, but sort of their version of the Sexual Assault Survivors Act. It's not called that exactly. It's not structured that exactly. But it, tonight at midnight, that window closes. So this is, according to some, why this lawsuit was filed by Paula. Also, in that same window, T.I. and Tiny have another lawsuit that was filed against them.
Is that why they got that girl looking like Ron Jeremy on the internet with them?
No, Tiny said, y'all gonna leave Tommy alone being in her natural state. Crystal, you said, oh my God, Trent, is he lying on you or being facetious?
Nope. Tell your story, Crystal. This is your opportunity. I done put it out there now.
Oh, is he popular?
This is your time to write a book.
Okay, so with T.I. and Tiny, I don't know if it's the same. They said that this person has been trying for the past 3 years to extort them or to do a suit. They are, of course, denying the claims. Right? And
can we just slide back to Paula Abdul real quick?
Sure.
That man said that she has a history of acting erratic when she made that lawsuit. I said that he is insane for that.
I mean, here's the thing. 2 things could be true. Paula could have a history of being erratic and some things have happened. That does not mean that he did not.
Correct.
He
tried to use some stuff against her. Like, come on, bro.
He's an older gentleman. Maybe he thinks it's back in the day where you could just say she's crazy.
Yeah,
and
that's
would be
exactly
like,
what he's doing.
She is crazy.
Yes.
Let me move around.
That's what they're trying to do. That is forever your girl. Stop playing.
So T.I. and Tiny responded to the lawsuit filing, right? And she is the same woman that attempted to sue them for sexual assault. They said for 3 years they have maintained their innocence. So I don't know if it is the Sabrina woman or someone else.
See, this is the problem that I have with certain people, and I'm not saying, and this is the fine line. Like, if you know somebody is into wild circus intercourse, okay, and they've made it known, and they've talked about this in open court or open forum before, all right, and you've got willing participants who go to the house knowing what goes on over at this house. So either you know when to leave the party because you know what goes on at this house, or you stay as a willing participant, okay? And it's not both, okay? Now, if you go back 1, 2, 3 times, you like it, you're into it, it makes you feel good, and you can't cry foul and extort people over a period of time or keep going back. If the judge says there's nothing here to see one time or maybe twice, there's nothing here to see, because one thing is for certain. If they find something and they can pull the string and it starts unraveling, they're going to do it.
They're going to do it.
Especially when you black with money.
Do you think, I mean, because from what I am told and aware of, T.I. and Tiny are pretty upfront.
Correct.
With the people that they invite to their situations. That's what I told. I'm not saying that is, obviously, we don't know intimate details, but I'm told that they're very upfront with that. So, it's an interesting thing. A lot of people I saw in the comments were saying, that's why you don't invite other people in your bedroom, so you don't have to worry about these things. True. They tried, I guess, if that's their thing. I mean, I don't know.
Or you just continue the same circle of friends that you've had for the last 2 decades. And
you can't get bored. You better.
And you can't get bored, baby. You just keep on going back to that old thing because you know what you're getting and you know what you're signing up for.
I agree.
Because it's no problem. And if you really feeling that itch, baby, you got to get a scratch where you know it's safe.
These are facts.
Yeah.
Their statement says, on the heels of positivity, negativity always rears its ugly head. The plaintiff has been threatening to file this lawsuit for 3 years. For 3 years, we have emphatically and categorically denied these allegations. For 3 years, we have maintained our innocence and refused to pay these extortionate demands for things we didn't do. For 3 years, we've maintained the same position while the claims in this story have changed time and time again. Our position is clear. We are innocent of those fake claims. We will not be shaken down, and we look forward to our day in court. So I
love it. I love when people go to court and tell all their business and just get up on the stand and just gap it open and just tell it all, because that's what I'm saying. That's what it's going to take. And I said this before on the show, who was going to go in there and tell all the business and just take the bullet and just say what goes down to defend themselves, because that's what it's going to take.
Pretty Brown
we
Mimi,
already know anyway.
Yeah, Pretty Brown Mimi, I don't think that they're just, I mean, I do think maybe they pick up the club, but I don't think it is that they're just randomly like her.
And I think
there's a little more conversation to it.
But see, I know we got to go to break, but I think that's part of it too. You get loose and you get comfortable of just being willy-nilly and free, and then stuff happens.
When we come forward, we'll have more trending topics and headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say bye, say say now, girl, say bye. Say now, say goodbye, say goodbye. Overloaded on all the memories and all the moments. When I look back to them, it's hard to focus.
Trending topics and the hottest happenings. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott is talking about his administration's gun violence prevention strategies for the new year. Speaking at a public safety press conference, Scott, who is black, said they want to continue to target illegal guns by going after straw purchasers, gun traffickers, and those who sell guns that they know will end up on the streets of Baltimore. Homicides decreased in Baltimore by more than 20% last year, and non-fatal shootings were down by more than 6%. New York Governor Kathy Hochul is announcing a statewide broadcast event to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in conjunction with the January 15th holiday. The annual commemoration of Dr. King's life and legacy, known as New York State Celebrates Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., will air on PBS stations throughout New York statewide beginning MLK weekend. The one-hour tribute showcases people and organizations from across the state that embody the principles of one of America's most significant leaders for social justice, freedom, and equality. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Drought, war, and rising food prices have doubled the number of families facing malnutrition. You can help. $50 provides a food kit to feed a family for a month. Just text the word radio to 97646.
I have a dream.
On Friday, January 12th, as we head into Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. annual holiday weekend, KBLA Talk 1580 will announce a historic climate justice campaign aimed at California communities of color. KBLA Talk 1580 is joined in this historic effort by both public and private partners including LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, Cal and Dow, the Sierra Club, and many other partners. There's a clear connection between Dr. King's moral conscience on the notion of reverence for all human life and the future of our world house. This year, on the MLK holiday weekend, KBLA assigns itself the task of elevating the climate conversation by amplifying the voices of those who are most impacted by the climate catastrophes we are witnessing in real time. Stay tuned for more details. At KBLA Talk 1580, Climate is King.
With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood.
Happy holidays from the Los Angeles County Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. DCBA is spreading the warmth this season with the Los Angeles County Rent Relief Program. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is available to landlords with unpaid rent expenses in Los Angeles County, excluding the city of LA. If you are a landlord with unpaid rent, you could be eligible for a grant of up to $30,000 per unit. Tenants with unpaid rent are also welcome to refer their landlords to apply for this program. To learn more about the program or to apply, visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. This program is administered by the County of Los Angeles through its Department of Consumer and Business Affairs. Visit www.lacountyrentrelief.com. www.lacountyrentrelief.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Curating the most compelling stories and delivering them straight to your ears. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Come on, 1988. Before.
With a little 80s pop. Shout out to Paula
Exactly.
Abdul.
I love Paula Abdul.
You know, and Scat Cat.
And Jackie Jackson.
Wasn't this when this is right before she started dating Arsenio for a minute?
Correct.
Okay.
Because, you know, they love a referral.
They love a referral. They do.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love Paula Abdul. I really do. I genuinely love Paula Abdul.
Listen, Paula was a Laker girl. Paula, to a certain degree.
But she's genuinely a nice lady.
She's very nice.
A very, 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 very sweet lady.
I like to hear that.
Yes.
That's good. I mean, you know, she has some treatment. Who's next on the playlist? Samantha Fox.
You know what?
You know what? Forensic accountant.
We were just talking about you, forensic accountant.
We were. We have some theories.
We have a lot of theories on you.
Forensic accountant shared a...
We should bet and have him confirm these things to see who wins the bet.
I don't know if he was going to confirm.
Oh, he definitely is. He likes us. He's friends with us.
He's a VIP.
He knows us by now.
Speaking of VIPs, I almost forgot this.
Oh, yeah.
I have VIP prize packs.
Yes.
You know, I came back to the new year bearing gifts. So if you are interested...
Y'all need to call and get this VIP prize pack. I got one, and when y'all see my T-shirt, y'all don't try to run and find out where it's at. You should have just called up and got one for free.
It's some things, couple of black-owned brands, some little surprises in there. So if you're interested, 800-920-1580.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a call.
Yeah.
A call?
Call a pop-up, yeah. Uh-huh.
A call. Give us a call. So forensic accountant says a streetwise Corey Clark, I believe that was the American Idol contestant Paula was dating for a moment, right?
Light-skinned Thunder.
Yeah. Would have sued Paula into oblivion. Heck, forensic accountant would have tape recorded her and put a beat behind it. Well, that's illegal, forensic accountant. You know you can't record someone without their knowledge and then put it out.
Not if you're living in Arizona.
But we're talking about California here. California is the leader as far as privacy across the nation. We have the strictest privacy laws. You know, that's the way it goes. So, did we wrap up Ti and Tiny? I can't remember. Long story short, you said stick with the circle.
Yeah, it's like I honestly feel that they just over there just into they freak zone, and it's and that's what they're into,
That's their life,
and that's what they're but again, I think people get these ideas and they think that they could just come up because they're having fun and there's this unlimited access to chicken wings and reefer and booze, and they can just stretch that train other than what it's there for in the moment.
I mean, that kind of goes along with we were talking last night, right? About, and we'll be talking next hour a little bit too about the Epstein list, or
Yes,
some
this
of what's
list is
on it.
so interesting.
It's not a list,
or
but
whatever
we're
it
going
is.
to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I don't think it's as interesting as people are making it.
Exactly. Well, some stuff is going on behind the scenes. It's not too far fetched at all. I'm just saying, drop the list, say the names. Destiny's Child.
And say my name.
We already know anyway. Well, at least I do. So
I mean, they
or I like to think that I know.
Well, a lot of the names because the thing about the document is that they're from the legal proceedings.
Mm-hmm.
So discovery, things like that. What is it? I'm blanking on the word right now. Depositions,
yes,
etc. So some of the information has already been out there. Some of it's not just like participants or crimes. It's perhaps alleged victims or just associations, and not necessarily the dirt, the tea that people are seeking. But, tis what it is. We make it go. So let me ask you this, because we were talking about this. We've talked about this in prior times, and we mentioned this a couple weeks ago, right? What do you think about, what's a good way to put this? We talked about knowing when to go home, right? And knowing when to leave.
Yes.
We talked about the fact that it was a different time frame. And for some people, maybe they were coerced, right? And they went back for whatever their reasons was, right? And they have a change of heart in looking back at it X amount of time later, right? Are you okay with that?
It just I mean, you gotta tell me more. I mean, going back. I mean, did they go back once or twice? 3 times?
I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, let's just say for now, there's at least one circling the block back, right?
Yeah. No, because see, if you were really violated, like, and something really happened, you're not going back. You're running and you're telling the authorities, or you're running and you're like, true victims don't go back.
Well, do you think that there's a such thing as, like, in the moment, you may have felt one way, but time, like, how you hear things like maybe you didn't know that you were being, and I'm not talking about physical abuse, but some type of emotional abuse. Let's say someone was speaking to you in a way and you didn't realize until time and away from the situation that it was so, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the same thing that kind of some of these people might be going through?
Could be, but if we're talking about something sexual, that's a little different than something verbal, because somebody can say something to you in hindsight, and sure, I'll use myself as an example. Something, my aunt, for instance, I don't fool with her like that, but over, the course of my childhood, she's always said some nasty things about my weight. And at the time, I didn't say anything because I felt like I was defenseless and I couldn't say anything as a child. But when I got 16, baby, we having a conversation. It's a little pop back. When I got 18, it's like, who you talking to? 21, Miss Girl, and as I got older, the clap back got stronger and quicker, right? So I get it, but at a certain, I went back and addressed that directly with her, and then it became something that the family became a part of, because it was like when I spoke up, it was like, oh, well, she did this to my cousin and she did this, that. So it wasn't just me. You know what I'm saying? But I addressed that with her directly. I didn't go and cry foul because I already knew that it would fall on deaf ears anyway. So I kind of get that. But also, if it was something deeper, physical, you know what I'm saying? I just think that it would have evoked a stronger reaction for me. But I'm not saying that it wouldn't have been that for somebody else, because you just don't know.
You don't know. Everyone handles things differently. I guess that is sort of because I definitely think, time and age and perspective can change your mind about things or reshape things.
Sure.
Or, you understand them to a different depth. But I don't know. In some of these instances, I just don't know.
It's difficult
with limited information. I will say that with the limited information that we're supplied.
So it just really depends on the situation. But I understand why people don't come forward, especially if it's sexual. But then again, these are very much convoluted situations at sometimes too, because there's a lot of times livelihood attached to it. So people feel pressured into things that they feel like they have to do because of what they are trying to attain.
Because they don't want to offend.
Or ruffle feathers,
Yeah, we talked about that last night.
Or know that if you do report this, you are getting blackballed, and you know that you're not getting to the bag or whatever. So sometimes people do, or they are pressured into things, and they feel like they have to do it.
And they wait until there's time, distance, and safety to revisit it.
Yep.
So when we come forward, we'll get into a little more of that. Of course, more trending topics and headlines. You're locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
Infusing a sense of fun and entertainment in every episode. You're listening to RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
More when we come forward.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California and around the country to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. As part of JP Morgan Chase commitment, they are taking action to help improve financial wealth and access to banking in the Black community, helping more people open low-cost checking and savings accounts, hosting community seminars with supporting Black-led institutions by building awareness about financial investments, hiring community managers, and opening community center branches like Crenshaw, Inglewood, and downtown LA. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Get the tools to help reach your financial goals. Visit today, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity. Again, jpmorganchase.com/racial equity.
Hey LA, save water and put money in your pocket with rebates from LADWP. Start saving with free shower heads and faucet aerators. Then save with every flush when you upgrade to a water-efficient toilet and get a $250 rebate. You can also save on every load of laundry with a high-efficiency clothes washer and get a $500 rebate. That's right, LADWP customers can get $500 rebates on qualifying clothes washers. See all the ways to save at ladwp.com/save.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions because we've got your Black. Listen up. If you're one of the more than 100,000 California tenants who were rejected or delayed when applying for COVID rental assistance, you've got a second chance. Under the terms of a new settlement, California's Housing and Community Development Department agreed to audit its past denials. The program ended in March 2022, but the advocacy groups Alliance of Californians for Community Empowerment, Policy Link, and Strategic Actions for a Just Economy sued the department. According to the coalition's analysis of state data, the department rejected nearly 30% of all applicants. Under the settlement, the department agreed to clear all renters in the pipeline within 6 months. The settlement applies to anyone who sought assistance from the state's Housing is Key program before April 1st, 2022, whose whose applications is pending or was denied after June 6, 2022. Tenants who have questions about the status of their application can call the hotline at 833-430-2122. That's 833-430-2122. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Now back to more captivating conversation on RSVP with Jill Munroe.
You are locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe here on KBLA Talk 1580. Shout out to Crystal Waite. She was the caller that won the VIP prize back. We appreciate you locking
shout out to
in.
Crystal.
We appreciate it all. Forensic account in the chat is bubbling. A lot of conversation on all of this tonight. Pretty Brown Mimi says, we all handle trauma differently. Forensic accountant says, sexual assault often has nothing to do with the actual sex. True, very true. And Pretty Brown Mimi also says, as a domestic violence survivor myself, I believe women and men and am sensitive to how we deal with trauma. I do think that we're supposed to believe them, but I also think that in that statement, it's hard not to acknowledge the complexities that come along with that. Because as a general thing, outside of when we're talking about women and violence, just in general, I feel like oftentimes, especially in this social media era, we rush to judgment, we rush to have commentary before we know enough of the facts. And I mean, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm not saying. I just think that there should be a safe space, and I understand why people need to take their time to and opening up to discuss certain issues and making themselves vulnerable. As you mentioned, you know, even if they didn't intend as such, there could be a whole bunch of backlash from anyone, you know, speaking out, whether it's family, a friend group, a relationship, a work situation. It's sensitive, right? But by that same token, I don't know. I think because each situation is unique and what each person is going to require as far as support or help or what they want from it is going to be an individual thing as well. Sometimes I think we just rush to include our piece in the piece without really thinking about what it means for the victim, the accused, you know,
right,
how it impacts. And that's not to say that I'm saying, oh, a victim shouldn't speak out because of how it's going to impact the accused. But what I am saying is that, I mean, much like I said with the Christian Keys thing, I understand him taking his own time. I understand that, you know, it's a sensitive thing. But I also think to allow speculation to roam unchecked, if it's not those individuals, it's not fair. And you can't control those things once you let certain aspects of it out. So for me, I just say when you are ready to speak out for your protection, and maybe there isn't any, you know, because there are going to be people that are not going to jump into your movement no matter what, whether because they resemble that behavior, whether because they don't like you or they like the other person. But I would like to see us overall be more responsible because, one, I feel like, two, it protects the individuals in some way, not a lot, but for people unnecessarily questioning you or throwing things at you when it's not fair, you know? I don't know. Maybe I'm being oversimplistic about it.
And people are also going to come to their own conclusions anyway. When they hear certain things, they've already got their mind made up a lot of the times, and as you said, they just want to add their piece, you know, to the conversation. But that's just it. Unless people have really been through it, they aren't so quick to judge because they understand what it's like.
Let me ask you this: Do you believe in empathy? Do you think that people can really be empathetic for situations they have not gone through or could not imagine themselves in? Because it sounds almost if you don't think that they can. I'm not putting that on you.
Yeah,
I'm asking
no. There
legitimately.
is a level of empathy that people can give, but I only think that people can give us the level that they have experienced certain things. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on what you've been through yourself on how far your empathy can go. So not to say that you've been through a sexual assault, but some level of, obstacle that you can, put yourself in that mindset. Oh, I can see that. But, unless you've been through like a certain scope of issues, because certain people, they haven't been through anything.
That's true.
They haven't just experienced it. And that's kind of what makes the world go round. So if you haven't had any adverse experiences, I think it would be hard for you to empathize with anybody that's outside of your, scope of understanding.
Okay. Well, listen.
Because there's levels to empathy.
There are.
Yeah.
There absolutely are. Do you think of yourself as an empathetic person?
Sometimes too much. For
Do you
instance,
think that's your Pisces thing?
It's my Pisces thing, and it's also because I've experienced so many adverse experiences in my life that I know. So right now, I've got like 3 friends within days of each other. Their parents have died. So like Sunday night, my friend's mother died. Monday, my friend's father died, and then this morning, I had another friend whose father has passed away, all within days of each other.
But so.
And because I understand a parent passing, like my father passed away, but I don't understand the loss of a mother. So I really can't empathize with that, but I can guess what that feels like. You know what I'm saying?
But see, do you think that, and I think you can, because we understand loss and we
Yeah,
understand
to an
painful,
extent, but
I think the difference is when
that's
you're
deep
talking
though.
about the death of a parent
Yeah.
or things like that, it's something that you can one-to-one see. When it comes to things like assault, I think people layer in things like, well, I would never go to that place.
Yeah.
Why would you show up like that?
But
You know
see,
what I mean?
assault, like I've been assaulted physically, not sexually, but I've been assaulted, so I understand. You know what I'm saying? But even back with the loss of a parent, like a loss of a mother and the loss of a father is two different emotions. You know what I'm like? It's night and day. Like I know that when that time comes, I'm gonna probably lose it because I don't, it's just a different thing. It's a different feeling.
Because mothers are nurturers.
And yeah, and it's I can't speak to that. So it's like almost with my friends when they lose their mothers, it's like I understand, but not really, because I don't. And I see my mother every day, and I talk to my mother every day.
So,
my father, I didn't have that, so it was a difference. You know what I'm saying? I talked to him every couple of days, or just on the week, or you know what I'm saying. So it was a different loss.
okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because I think that people, especially now, aren't as compassionate as they used to be. I think we pretend to be.
People don't show. Yeah, that people. I think people. That's the thing. People pretend to be more compassionate than they really are.
Yeah.
But the caveat to that is, if you've experienced something that is profound and deep, then you might have a better level of empathy than most people. And I think older people are definitely more empathetic
because they've had more
they've had life experience.
Shorter though on that
Yeah.
leash they're gonna give you. Listen, when we come forward, we're gonna have more trending topics and headlines. We're gonna get into this boosty conversation. Trent, I know you had some commentary on it.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna talk about Iggy Azalea retiring from music. We're gonna talk
I
about
thought
a
she
new
was.
judgment from Game. Nope, she's officially retiring. We'll talk about what she said and what she said.
She's too fancy.
And we'll talk about Eminem's lawsuit against 2 Real Housewives. All of that and more on the
Wait
other
a
side. You're
minute.
locked into RSVP with Jill Munroe on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Baltimore Mayor Brandon